still a little shaky. I'm sorry. I'm kind of nervous.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast Reaction Squad, episode 32 with our guest, Animation Rewind.
Hi, everyone. It's Animation Rewind here, and it's truly a pleasure to be on the podcast, and I'm super excited. So I'm happy to be here.
We're super excited to have you too, man. It's a real honor.
Absolutely. And also, Ivan is joining us, and Ruben will be coming in very soon here. He's just getting set up. So while we're waiting for Ruben, what we can do is, for those of you that don't know, I guess, AR, tell us about what you do.
All right, so I'm Animation Rewind, and I run two Versus series, Cartoon Fight Club and Rewind Rumble, and I've been doing this for a few years now. Cartoon Fight Club since 2015, and Rewind Rumble since late 2017. And I'm pretty much the voice you hear in a lot of the episode narrations, although sometimes we have co-hosts. And for Cartoon Fight Club, we make a variety of different types of animations, a lot of more meme type or weirder animations. And then on Rewind Rumble, we host the more serious type versus content. And every now and then I'll make some random Animation Rewind. Don't know.
Sorry, I had the mute on mine. Yeah, you cut out just a little bit there in the end, like the one sentence or two before. You want to? I think he's still cut out right now, everybody. Just some little itty bitty technical difficulties. I'm sure he will be back in a little bit. So thank you all that is coming in right now. And yes, I hope you guys do have your questions ready for at the end of this video. We'll be taking a few. I'm sure some of you at least want to ask him. He is on our channel. You know, if you guys ever wanted to talk to him yourself. So
yeah, man, this is your opportunity.
Yep. Make sure you have him written down and just be ready for that at the end of the show. All right, he is back. Just, that last sentence real quick, buddy.
Yeah, it kind of cut out a little bit, but you should be all right now.
Oh, sorry. My internet might... All right. Yeah, apologies if my internet fades in and out.
Okay. Yep, you definitely, it faded in and out. So basically, those that are just tuning in right now, he just explained what he does. He is a versus debate channel, I guess to say it. Does lots of animations, and he varies from, memes to mainstream characters. So, okay, yeah. So then just real quick, though, I guess some more people are piling in. And so what made you want to start doing this? And should I just call you AR, or do you prefer, do you have a name you want us to call you? It's up to you, man.
Animation Rewind. You can call me George, okay. Or Animation Rewind George, or whatever you feel like it. But I started way back in middle school. I was 13 years old, and I actually had an actual school project that made us use Go Animate, and that's what introduced me into and
I think his internet again kind of.
But I started with a software known as Anime Studio Pro, and at the time it was 6. I now work with 9 and 12. But with Anime Pro 6, I made More Crab's Brother, which was like a really sloppy test animation. Then for about 4 years, from 2011 to about 2015, I just did random parody animations about pretty much anything. And then in 2015 is when Cartoon Fight Club started, and then much history on how Cartoon Fight Club went from something small to a full-on team into Rewind Rumble.
Okay. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I heard the big chunk of it. You're still having just a little bit of a technicality we're experiencing. Sorry, viewers and stuff like that. So, okay, that's actually pretty cool. I didn't know the story either, so I was pretty much excited to hear that.
Oh, absolutely.
It started out as a middle school kind of gig, and then turned into, hey, look where you're at now. Last time I checked, you were at 650,000 subs-ish?
He's like 666.
Yeah.
666K.
I'm floating. Well, yeah, I crossed 666 yesterday, but I think today I'm at 667, and then Rewind Rumble I think is a little over 70. Yeah, I think Rewind Rumble's a little over 70, but I mean it's thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it. It's a blessing. keep growing, and it's definitely a ride that I did not know I was going to be part of, but I'm glad I'm part of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Like honestly, Next to Death Battle is one of the best versus series on YouTube I've seen. So congratulations on that, man. You really went far.
Mm-hmm. And I've said this before.
Oh,
and
thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
Yeah, I do see like the way that you look at stuff and how DB, how Death Battle, or how they look at stuff. And I tend to agree with your logic more than their logic. That will be a question more to come up later. But I even mentioned DB. So I went ahead and pulled back the throttle a little bit. I'm hoping maybe on my end that'll maybe help your channel or your stream. So let's just see. I limited the bandwidth. Let's just see how that goes.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, my internet's kind of fading out, but
okay.
Should I lower that too?
Yeah, there is a little like, like it looks like a cell phone bar. If yours is maxed, try pushing it back like a notch or two. I did it right now just to see if it'd help you. I'm hoping it
Okay, I put it on very low.
Okay. I think when you do that, I think you lose your camera though.
Oh, okay. Should I higher it then?
Yeah.
I'll put it on low.
Yeah, let's just see how that goes, just to kind of make sure. So, so then as far as that goes, we definitely heard your story. Back in school, you had the projects and everything. Was there any other inspiration, or was it just kind of that, or that was your inspiration to want to get into this whole, debate channels and stuff? Oh, I think he dropped on us.
Oh, did he?
I think he did.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, obviously. Oh, am I bleeping out again, or?
Sort of. I think you're back now.
Shh.
Yeah, you're back now.
All right. Apologies about that. I'm really sorry.
All right, I'm good to say
that too, but
Yeah, I think we missed your whole answer. You kind of
all right.
Cut out again.
Is it good now, or?
Yeah, now it's good.
I'm so sorry about this. I did not know you like that.
Yeah. Yeah, usually I reboot my router and all that stuff.
Should I try to like reset my Wi-Fi or something?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
All right, you want me to come back in like 2 minutes?
Yeah, we should do that. Yeah, shut off everything. Yeah, especially the router.
All right, I'll hop out and hop back in then. All right.
Modem too. If they're separate. All right, we'll see you in a little bit here, and we can definitely clutch for you. All right, everybody. So we just had a little bit of technicality. Thank you, everybody that is waiting, and I hope you guys do have your questions together. Ivan, River, how are you guys feeling about him being here?
Stoked. I was nervous. Nervous, but now it's like all going away. He's a really cool guy. And I'm not gonna lie.
I'm definitely nervous.
I'm not gonna lie. It sounded a bit different than what I'm used to hearing, but hearing him talk more, I hear it again. So it's really awesome. Like I'm just super stoked to have him on.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you that are just tuning in, he will be back. He just has a little bit of internet. His internet right now is acting up. He's just rebooting the internet and the router. Just in case some of you are like, he is here. The title's not fake. He's just troubleshooting really quick. If you guys want to hear him talk, go ahead and rewind this live stream. And we've only been going for about 4 or 5 minutes. So while he's troubleshooting, you guys at least can see the part he's in it. And then you can fast forward later, whatever you guys want to do. What about you, River? You were trying to talk too there. I know both of you were excited to jump at the same time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I'm a bit excited. I guess I agree with Ivan. For me, I'm a bit nervous about it because I was like, oh damn, like we got Animation Rewind on here. That's freaking crazy. And so I was a bit nervous, and I had no idea we were starting a couple minutes ago. I was literally still taking notes, wanting to come up with questions as well. Like, and I saw the message. I was like, oh, we're starting. Crap, like
Yeah, because I saw that you just messaged, and then we went, and I was like, he'll just join. I figured when we launch it.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I was going at. I didn't want to sit there and try to because he was ready to go, and he's got about an hour to spare, so we definitely want to. I don't want to.
Don't want to drag as much as we can. But like we said, guys, he'll definitely be back soon. So just please hold on.
Yeah, so it's like his internet or something.
Pencil Face, keep that question for later when AR comes back. We're going to be taking questions towards the end of this stream. For now, we're just kind of talking, back and forth. The three of us in general have some interviewing questions and just some stuff that we want to ask. And then in the end, of course, we're going to let you guys, the viewers, ask him some questions. So thank you, Pencil Face, but definitely hold on to that.
And absolutely, if anybody want to ask some more questions, please let us know right now. So, and we'll get to them when we can, or towards the end of the show. So,
well, yeah, like I said, I definitely want to keep those questions for AR. That's what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, that one could be between the three of us, but since he's here, I really want to hear his take on it because this guy his research is very unique in the versus debate community.
I was gonna say, what was the question you asked him again? Like, what was it exactly?
It was like what got him into doing versus matches.
Oh, right. Yeah, I got that too. I got that.
Yeah. I guess unfortunately you missed it real quick. For those of you that are joining too, I guess I'll do a short version. In middle school, he was challenged to make with animation on a computer some type of like version 6 of something, and he was making a bunch of like parody things of people fighting people, and then it just dawned on him like, what if I like made this like a thing on the internet? And then he started just doing it, and then it obviously got received pretty well. And
that's really cool.
Yeah, I do. He started in 2015. That's actually surprising. I never looked at his origin.
That is.
But like, because I started in 2015, so that means me and his channel is the same age. When I think about it, and I've watched a ton. I used to react to like all of his videos, like a lot over and over. And now I'm trying to get back into some of them, but I kind of clutched back a little bit just because you guys know my personal life is. So it's changed, and there's a lot of things I have to kind of pick and choose what I do. And I know a lot of his fans are on me about what happened to all the AR videos, So,
yeah.
But there's a few right now I'm going to watch. I have them all queued up. Yeah, go ahead, Ivan.
No, what I was going to say was, I've heard of Animation Rewind like around that same time, 2015. I'm like, okay, yes, it looks like a really decent versus match because I've seen a lot of them on, and some of them were pretty good, but I think his was like. It was almost like Death Battle quality. I'm not trying to compare him to Death Battle. Please don't mind that. He's unique. He's amazing, and I think he really stands out in that debate. So, and that's why I really appreciate his stuff. So, like when I saw his research, like one of the first episodes I saw was, I believe it was of Sailor Mars and Bloom. I believe that was. I was spot on. I was really impressed with the research. I'm like, okay, he really knows what he's talking about. So I subscribed right away, and ever since then, he's gotten better and better and better with the animations, with the fights, and with the analysis. There's very few I disagree with, and just overall, it's super solid. And and this was long before I started YouTube, so and I'm sorry, I'm still a little bit, I'm just crazy that I'm just a little bit, crazy that he's still here,
I get you, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. With the just the way he does the research is it's different, and that's another thing I was going to bring up to him too. So obviously, I'm trying to save some of these certain sentences. I don't want, you know what I mean. I gotta save my hand for this podcast. So
absolutely.
If any of you guys have questions for us three while we're waiting, we'll take them right now. Why he is actually booting up his machine again right now. He'll be back. So. Just patience. Those of you, thank you. Hit the like button, by the way, if you guys do or are enjoying this podcast, or you guys think you will enjoy this podcast. And for those of you just joining, write your questions down because you will have a chance yourself to actually talk to him or at least get some of your questions answered.
Absolutely. And so, Ruben, I assume you had a chance to watch some of Animation Rewind stuff. So, what do you think of it, man?
They're really good. A lot of them are pretty good. I think one of the ones out of the few I saw that was kind of funky was like Joker versus Joker. I noticed like their feet work was kind of weird. Like their feet were kind of bent in, but the quality of it though is still really good. Like even the pixelated ones, they're really good. Like the way he does them and the way he has them made. I was literally checking out just right now. It's called Original Brawly Animation. That one came out really good.
Okay, he is back.
I unplugged and replugged my Wi-Fi back in. Hopefully that makes it better. And I apologize if there was any delay because of it.
You're good, man. You're good. It works a lot better now.
All right,
good. Ivan was able to clutch us, so we're good.
All right, that's awesome.
So yeah, really quick. I guess we can go to the next thing. There was some people already that got too excited and they were throwing questions at us, and I reminded them, hey, please save them for after because me, Ivan, and River, we're gonna ask you some questions first.
All right, that's awesome.
Go through it, and everything. So yeah. So when it comes to your research, what makes you different or unique, would you say, compared to other channels?
Well, off the bat, I usually like to specify incarnations versus composite, though there have been episodes where we went for the composite. And also, one different thing is our shows are well open for rematches, especially if we feel like we did something incorrectly. Like I remember the Beerus versus Darkseid, we did 2 different versions, one with Post Crisis and one with New 52. And even sometimes if we have like real mistakes, we'll sort of retcon things, like Saitama versus Goku. I remember when Saitama first like grew popular, we kind of fell for that hype bait and we let him beat Goku. And then we thought, you know what, this thing needs a rematch. He probably should have lost. So the biggest difference is, look, all shows make mistakes. Definitely ours falls under that. And we try to use the rematch thing is to sort of like clean things up. And of course, picking specific incarnations for specific episodes.
Yep. I agree with that. You guys show a lot of humility versus debaters.
Absolutely.
In that general. And because some people say that you're a wank channel.
Oh, yeah.
What would you say to those that think that you wank a lot of characters?
Well,
for instance, if like a character one time did something crazy and then you use that as a feat, and some people go, oh, that's just one time. Like, how do you explain that to people? I personally agree with the wanks mostly, but I'm just kind of curious, like, how do you like deal with that, or how would you explain that? Like right now, you have a chance right now to say it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I would say it kind of depends on the character. So like if we're using a cartoon character like Mickey Mouse, we understand that Toon Force, Mickey Mouse is all over the place. You'll watch an episode and sometimes he's like the weakest character in the episode, and other times he's like Superman. So if we're using a cartoony character, we usually say, okay, I know his Toon Force is inconsistent, but let's take his best Toon Force and his best abilities and go with it. And then if there is a more serious character that has like a specific power scaling continuity, then we'll try to be more relevant. And there has been times like the Saitama thing, I will fully admit, we rode that hype train incorrectly and we tried to fix that up. But yeah, it all kind of depends. And my short answer would be, it does depend on the character, on whether I say if our research is wanked or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like a good example is like the Golden Superman, right? He's the one that bathed in the sun for how many years?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Superman Prime. But when a moon exploded in front of him and knocked him out, it took him out.
Yeah,
but like other Supermans that haven't even bathed for that long can survive a supernova. So it's like, do you take the moon feat of his durability, or do you take where he can crush reality and warp it, or that type of thing?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the problem is like death by writer. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like how?
Yeah.
Because at that point it'd be like almost cherry picking, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I understand, like that's what makes it so hard for you as a writer to really explain to people, because we easily could say, well, Golden Superman couldn't even take a moon blast.
Right.
And
or like how? Oh, go ahead.
No. I apologize. You go ahead.
I was gonna say, and it goes on both ends too. Like even with characters like Goku when he died from the laser, or yeah. So it's not it all. I think as long as we try our best to make sure the parameters are fair, like we give both characters what's best for them, and not just cherry pick. Hey, Goku gets this timeline, Superman gets just none of his best feats. As long as the parameters are fair, then like if both characters are quote unquote wanked, then I say it's a fair game. But if one character is wanked and one we try to play conservative with, then I would say that's unfair.
Yep, that's when I throw out the chair. I'm like, oh, you're just cherry picking. That's
what
you're doing. But with you, I noticed that's what the good thing about pulling out the wank card.
Yeah.
No pun intended for you sickos.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's okay.
Wank in Australian, by the way. If you guys don't know what that means, forget it.
Yeah, but in the way he does it, like in my opinion, it makes perfect sense because because when I see other versus matches do it, I'm just like I still kind of question like whether that makes sense. But the way he does it, like okay, like the way you just have a far better explanation of why you cherry pick certain things. So in that regard, like okay, that makes perfect sense. For even if it's battles that I still kind of disagree with, you really make it explain in a way that okay, you know what, that actually does make a lot of sense, because when it comes to characters like you mentioned, Gogan Superman, where he died from a moon exploding, and regular Superman that can survive a supernova, how do you put that in a way that makes perfect sense for everyone to understand, so that it's not so, oh, this is an outlier, this is a cherry picker type of thing. And I think you pulled it off really well. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And my favorite one you did was Mega Man versus Astro Boy. Not because I'm a biased Mega Man fanboy, but the way I felt, you explained it perfectly. I was like, well,
I got to give a huge shout out to Vivi Orniter for that episode. And for those who don't know, that's actually Proto Dude from the Classic Game Guy series. So I let him know, hey, I know you once did Mega Man vs. Astro Boy. Of course, Death Battle did it. And I wanted to give him the opportunity if you want to do it right. And his notes really helped out. And that dude knows these two characters very well. And I was really thankful to have him on that episode, his research and his calcs, because that really helped the debate too. And shout out to Classic Game Guys. I know their channel is kind of like privatized, but if you ever heard of Fatal Fiction, they once had a Versus show and they had some really good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I watched that and I was like, yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I was like, that's how it should have went. I felt for the most part.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
It was.
Yeah. I definitely like the Cell versus Metal Sonic one that you did, especially with the voiceover work with Devil Artemis.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun. And
that was well done.
Thank you so much. I don't want to spoil anything, but we might be collabing in the future. But
nice.
I won't go any further than that.
He's good noise if you ask me. I like
Yeah, he's
and so that's kind of led to one of my questions I would like to ask you. So, like, out of all the battles you did, which one was the hardest to try to find a victor of in terms of there are many continuities or a variety of characters? Like, what was the hardest one to decide for you?
The hardest is second place of the Reality Warper free for all. Like, it was obviously picking the one above all as first place. That was a given because he's technically Stan Lee. But then second place, I mean, there was so many loopholes, and I don't know. I don't want to spoil it, or maybe I should. It's already like a month or so old. But yeah, we had to go with Yukari Yakumo as second place, and that was really tough for us. And each researcher sent in a draft of who they want in their top 5, and then from there on out, we would debate each other in Discord calls. And that episode took at least 2 years to fully put together. The planning, the animation. Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, the animation alone is 26 minutes. So, and then the whole video, I think, clocks in over about 1:20. But that was definitely the most challenging video we ever made in terms of picking who ranks where. Because it wasn't just, okay, this person wins and we can leave it at that. We needed a second place, a third place, fourth place, top to bottom. And even picking the way last one, which was Minecraft Steve, that was a bit of a challenge because if Steve was faster, he has a lot of hexes that would work if his speed matched up with the other Reality Warper speeds. And so there was a lot of little things like that really made that episode in specific very difficult. So yeah, definitely the Reality Warper free-for-all was the hardest one to rip apart and say, okay, this person gets second, this person gets third.
So that's
all right, yeah.
I could see that. You know what? Actually, I would think it would kind of be a cool idea, and you don't have to take it, but almost if you had those Discord calls recorded.
Oh yeah.
I know it's more work, but it could also be like a BTS, like a behind the scenes.
Right.
So if people actually want to hear this, because how did you come to the conclusion? Because I know, you do your show, obviously, when you write it, you have to explain it in 5 minutes. Well, sometimes some people aren't satisfied, right? They're hungry. They really, especially those ones that but then if they actually heard your whole Discord, they could be like, oh, okay.
That's actually a really good idea. And we actually have been tossing around the idea of doing some sort of podcast or something around those lines. But I'll definitely take that into consideration, and maybe we could turn something into that. At the very least, maybe do some sort of post-credit podcast or something at least once a month. I'll definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, hell yeah.
That would be beautiful, dude.
That's a great idea. Absolutely.
I do drive a lot, so that's the time where I just like. Talking, and I just go.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome. Definitely.
Yeah, back to that topic before. I was actually kind of curious. How long does it normally take you to animate a fight? Does it depend on the fight, the fighters in general, the characters you choose, or does it all range around the closest amount of time?
Okay, so a lot of things happen in advance, especially for Rewind Rumble. And if I had to pick a specific time frame, I would say about 3 months are for each Rewind Rumble, and maybe about 1.5 months for each Cartoon Fight Club. But a lot of these are done in advance. So we'll have one animator work on something, and I don't give them any like due dates. It's whenever they're done. They could take as much time as they need because thankfully we have a lot of animators on our team. So. We'll have, but they don't start until obviously like the script is all done and everything's all researched and ready to go. So depending on the characters, especially if it's like a character we've used a lot of times, like say Sonic, there wouldn't be a lot necessary for like biography or basic information. We could just jump right into feats. But so altogether, like a good one-on-one, like say Dark Sonic versus Goku Black, that took about like 4 months altogether, even though that was like the first episode to launch the new channel. And then after that was Sasuke versus Shadow, which we already had complete, but I would say that took about a good 3 months as well. And then now they upload faster because they sort of stockpile onto each other, especially with Cartoon Fight Club. And it's so to give you another short answer, it'd be like about 3 months for a Rewind Rumble and a month and a half for a CFC. But a lot of things are already like pre-made that it feels faster and shuffled out.
Oh wow! All right, that's pretty cool. It's crazy. Like
a lot of us take it for granted how,
there's a lot of behind the scene work. Like
yeah,
the massive amount of dedication to take like 4 months to do one particular battle. Like 1/3 of the whole year to do all this type of research for one battle. That's true dedication.
Well, that's why I'm super thankful for all the team members involved, because there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that make it feel a lot faster. So like back when I first started, I like when I was all alone, like say Wario versus Knuckles and Mordecai and Rigby had I think a 2 month or 1 month split between, but the more and more team members joined, the faster it was to like sort of like create this rotation of, okay, we have this ready and we can release these, and it would speed up. But yeah, I'm super thankful for our team. So shout outs to all the researchers. BTL Video Productions does a lot of work behind the scenes. Creep Switch, Miss X, Corin O'Keefe. There's a lot of like Biff Weed does a lot of script writing. So yeah, shout outs to all these guys. Without them, I definitely would be like in a way smaller spot. So definitely they deserve like a quiet round of applause or yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I remember Corin O'Keefe. I've talked to him a few times, and there was a few other cats too, but Corin's name's one that stuck out for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of animators out there, and yeah, they got heart. They
do.
They work their asses off. That's the short version. I can go on a rant about it, but yeah, it's just like, wow.
Yeah, the animators too. There's a bunch of animators, and if it wasn't for them, Just Zeno was the first team animator, and he proposed Goku versus Naruto. Now that one was a little easier to figure out who would win, but yeah, it slowly built on from there. And then the Redux team came in, Pixel 8-bit with like the Mario versus Luigi, Wario versus Shadow, and then Biorhythmic Studios, Maniac, Omega 7321, like. The animators also help out way more than I could thank them for. But yeah, they work really hard, and they also help make it seem easier than it looks. Like, because without them, if I was all on my own, it would be even longer to like have everything animated. But yeah, there's a lot of teamwork that goes into this, so it's definitely not just me. But yeah, so shout outs to them as well.
Speaking of Naruto, that Shadow Clone Jutsu would come in pretty handy, huh? The clone one,
where you get
like 50 of them, like to make all the work happen. So the only constructive criticism, since I got you here, that I would throw at is when it comes to Rewind Rumble, when you do the pre-analysis and the posts, and I said this in my reactions before, is when you show the bars of their strength and their feats.
Yeah,
I almost feel like it's giving away, or at least it can hint towards who's got it in the bag before the fight even starts.
Oh, okay.
Like the way you explain it, though, you're still kind of holding your hand like poker. One thing I learned at DB Death Battle, they do is they've kind of almost put their hand on the table before the fight even starts, like the pre. And I'm like, oh, I already know who's going to win, kind of the way they're saying it. The last battle, however, they had it really good. They had it hidden. I tell you, with yours, those bars, like, because I saw, like, for instance, SML versus SMG4.
Oh,
He made one, Ivan. He actually made one. He did. like right away, all the bars were like filled for SMG4. Except one was like maybe a 9, and then SML was just nerfed. Like, I was like, well, this is pretty obvious what's gonna happen here.
That's
in
one
my
thing.
Opinion, the bars should come after the fight.
Oh, okay.
I agree.
You know, like that's the only, and I said it on my reactions. I don't know if you caught those or not, but I was just like, just the one thing, that's the only, if I could change one thing, and I'm not saying you have to take my word, but if that was the one thing I could change, that's my constructive criticism towards you.
All right.
So,
well,
I
actually think that's a really good criticism. And I actually think I didn't make it clear enough in the videos themselves that the bar graphs, they're not really like based off of like any sort of unit. So they're actually like more so to compare to the character themselves, like to say, okay, this character is more of a fast character, but he's not as strong, or he doesn't have a lot of agility. The inspiration for that was actually, I don't know if you collect Transformers. I'm a huge Transformer nerd. They have like a very similar scaling where they'll say power 7 out of 10, speed.
Yeah.
That and the Hasbro thing, they'll even say like the units aren't really supposed to be compared. And I kind of just got inspiration from that, but I probably should have made it more clear because I'm a Transformer fanboy. So like when I see stuff like that, I'm always like, oh, I'm going off like the Hasbro sort of ranking system. But I'll definitely take what you said into consideration, because especially if it's a stomp battle like SMG4 versus SML, it would probably ruin the suspension, because like even if they weren't meant to be compared, you could see a guy with like straight 10s versus a guy with straight 1s, and you'd think, okay, might as well just skip to the fight or something. But yeah, I definitely think that's a fair criticism, and I'll look into that.
Well, to be fair, when it comes to the battles that are like super close, the bars I can kind of understand, because it's not so clear cut on who would win. So even with the bars, so let's say good example, like Starfire and Android 18, I didn't know who was gonna win that one. Even with the bars, I was still like, it wasn't so obvious who would win. So when it comes to those battles, I can understand leaving the bars if it's that close. But if it's like it seemed like a stomp for, let's say, if you were to do another Shazam at Captain Marvel, it's already clear cut more win. So if you don't put the bars there, like, all right, now maybe that's not a good example, but like,
no, that is a good example. That is,
yeah.
Okay, but in terms of like you having the bars, like we kind of already know who's gonna stomp the other. But when it comes to like maybe like Crash versus Spyro, maybe it's a little bit better example. Like you put the bars here, it's gonna be a little bit more obvious. But I would say for the lot closer battles, I can accept the bars.
Well,
but yeah,
all I was saying is you can show the bars after the fight's over. You know, the post then people.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
While you're talking to me, I guess if you want to pick which one's pre-analysis to show and not, that's obviously up to you. But
yeah,
you know, because but then like me as the viewer, when I see it, I go, oh, okay, someone's gonna stomp. It's like a spoiler alert. There's a stomper in this fight.
Yeah,
fight, it's like, okay, it's even.
Right.
So it's like that takes away that again. And like I said, the way you explain it you don't right away just say, oh, well, you know, Superman farts and blows up the planet, right?
Yeah.
But Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers can't even lift up a fruit. You know, whatever.
Right. No, that's like, really funny.
You do a good job of the vocal part of it, but
explaining it
at times, like
right.
Like I said, there's obvious. Okay, this is a close one. Then there's obvious stomps.
Right.
So,
I definitely agree with that, and I'll look into that. And I'll probably, if we think it's going to be a stomp, we'll decide maybe not to show it or go back to the classic format where we didn't even have it. So like recently, we did a remastered of Vegito versus Gogeta as a bonus episode.
I did see that.
I didn't get around to watching it. I actually had it queued up.
I did.
Not yet.
I wasn't going to watch it today, but we're here now. So
I did get a chance to watch it, and I thought that was an extremely well done. I thought that was extremely well researched.
Oh, thank you.
And like the way.
Go ahead. No, I was just saying we actually have like a bit of bonus episodes prepped up because season 2 is going to be like completely different. We're actually trying to bring in a lot more co-hosts, and sort of like the Yang versus Garnet episode where we had like little avatars speak like with just a robot and Creep Switch, and how they had like little puppets talking. We were thinking of doing that for season 2, but also having like more permanent type co-hosts, but also have like more bonus episodes as like quick one-on-one hosting battles. So just a quick heads up. I'm also planning to do an update video to talk more about this in detail. But there's been like about a half a year gap where I haven't uploaded, but that's because we've been prepping like so much stuff in advance. Like the Reality Warper Free For All was supposed to come out December of last year, and obviously it didn't come out till summertime, and so it felt like 6 months nothing was going on. But in truth, there's a lot of behind the scenes that has been going on.
Yeah, no kidding. When you're talking about takes how many months to do this and that, I know Jar or Just a Robot.
Yeah.
I watch him a lot on YouTube, man. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. That's cool, man. I do remember that he was in. Yeah, he helped you co-host, and I know also he changes his name in a lot, but Teen Gohan Fighters.
Oh yeah. He's now the SS Ultimate Goku.
He gets a lot of flack online, and I don't like that. But
yeah,
I did notice it actually. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't really get into a lot of the drama stuff, but yeah, he's got his fair share of like controversies, to say the least.
Yeah. I like him. I don't care what anybody says. I'll defend him. I'm like, he's got his own opinion, y'all. Just gotta
yeah,
exactly.
It all started. I think it's because the Goku versus Superman thing. He kind of never let go, and if he handled that better, it probably would have been a lot more tame. And then,
yeah, he's definitely pro Goku on that one.
Yeah,
I am too to this
that's
day.
harder to.
Yeah,
I am too. I don't care. I still think he could take Superman, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think so too. There's a way for him to, but the way Goku is, he wants a fair fight, and he can't fair fight Superman.
The
honestly,
problem is when you say bloodlust, then there's no such thing as fair fight. You can't.
They take that away.
Death Battle cherry picked it. They said, "Oh, this is that fight to the death, bloodlust." But all of a sudden, Goku wants to fight Superman at his strongest. Okay, what happened to the bloodlust rule number 2 in their rules? Like they threw that rule away. And that was bloodlust, and you get all your arsenal. Well, his arsenal is telekinesis or telepathy.
Yeah.
He can talk to King Kai. King Kai would be like, he knows everything.
Yeah.
Kryptonite. He would teleport him to the Kryptonite. He'd be dead.
That's
true. Or he even tell him about the sun or something. Like
that's contradictory.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. So, like, the rules are there, but let's not go down that path because it's not good. I'm just throwing it out there, like either he's bloodlust both of them or one of them because Superman blew up the planet to kill him.
Yeah.
Animation. Just for entertainment, of course, the animation. But
go ahead, Ruben.
Yeah. All right. But I was gonna say one of the questions I had was that after I saw the work with working with Devil Artemis for the Cell versus Mechasonic, kind of got me thinking like, have you ever considered of doing more voice actor like work for your animation fights?
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of lineup battles for season 2 is going to include voice acting. We got Katie Connie Day playing a lot of female characters.
Awesome.
I don't want to spoil Devil Artemis, but he may be making a return in the future. And
nice.
Shadow of Torres is playing a lot of roles as well. Ooh. Yeah. So we're definitely open to doing more voice acting because it does add another layer to the fight itself. Because like if we have to include text boxes to tell stories, it kind of slows down the pacing. Whereas if you have a voice actor, they could talk and fight at the same time, or like things just flow a lot better. So definitely we are open to working with more voice actors, and we already have a few episodes lined up with voice acting in them. So we're really excited to share those.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
I'll send my kit too. I have a ton of voices too. Just in case, I would feel so honored.
Why not?
He does too on YouTube. So
he
does. On a lot of voices, so.
Just email me and I could share with you some available slots. I'd definitely be interested in that.
Right on.
Nice. Cool.
So another question for season 2: Are we gonna expect to see any particular minor changes to how the show works, or anything you want to add more to it? Formatting.
I don't want to say we're gonna kill the way we do pre-analysis, but we're gonna make sure that each character. Because they used to be like a quick little bio for this character, then quick little bio for that character. We're going to try to make things a little more meted out. And the episodes, we're planning to do one a month for like the mainline episode, and then maybe 1 or 2 bonus episodes, depending on how fast we finish them. And the biggest difference is the amount of co-hosts. I'm planning to bring in a number of characters as co-hosts, more permanent for Rewind Rumble. And then also there are going to be episodes where I solo host, as in the bonus ones. And it's going to be the same series, but it's going to feel a lot different because we're going to try to give it a new direction. And so technically season 2 the real season 2 technically hasn't started yet. We're kind of just having some filler episodes in between, because like there has been like a 6-month break between the Reality Warper Free For All's supposed date back in December and its real release date. So we didn't want to keep our fans waiting another 6 months of preparation. So we kind of had some like filler, if you would say. But the biggest difference would be like how we host things. And we're going to try to bring back the chalkboards, because a lot of the fans really like that over the little smaller cubes in the corner. So we'll break down each category in the post analysis. We're going to bring that back. And we're going to try to make sure the animations are longer for the mainline episodes. Like, we want to shoot at least 3 to 4 minutes. I know a lot of episodes are like 2 minutes and some are even 1, but especially if you're going to be waiting a whole month for some of these, we want to make sure they're longer. And definitely the number of hosts, how we work our post analysis, and animation length are the 3 biggest things we're going to try to work on.
All right, cool.
Right on. If I may ask one more question, if you don't mind. So, out of all the Total Wars, which, by the way, I think is a really fun format for versus matches, because it's really fun to see how a group of one character in a universe fights another group of characters in the universe. That's a very creative thing that, honestly, I don't think a lot of versus matches have never done before. So, props to that. But my question to you is, what was probably the hardest Total War you had to decide winners for?
All right, so we got Z Fighters versus JLA. There's JLA versus Avengers. We did obviously Mario versus Sonic twice. And then if we include free-for-alls, there was the Speedster free-for-all, the Reality Warper free-for-all, the Swordsman free-for-all. That's a really hard question to answer off the top of my head. I could obviously, if we do Total War specifically, the Mario versus Sonic rematch was quite challenging, because our Sonic stance, we kind of like backtracked on Sonic. Like when we first introduced Sonic, we had a lot of the characters at multi-galaxy, and then we kind of scaled that back. Like the Solaris feat was something that we used to like really like was one of our selling points on why Super Sonic was so powerful. But then our team came to the realization that Solaris is more of a glass cannon, so going with 1/3 Universal really wouldn't fit for these Sonic characters if the boss they're really facing, his durability was way smaller. So the Mario vs. Sonic Total War is up there.
Okay.
Even Justice League versus Avengers was a bit of a challenge, because that was the first Total War that I had to really make sure what was a team Total War. It wasn't just like me back in the day just messing around with the first Mario and Sonic. So that was another challenging one, to sort of like have so many people get involved and making a decisive winner. And but luckily Justice League had Martian Manhunter and the Flash, which kind of made that somewhat easier. But Mario vs. Sonic 2, obviously the Reality Warper free-for-all, and then JLA versus Avengers, just for being the first big Total War that included so many other people.
All right, on.
All right, awesome.
That sounds like you got all your questions asked. What about you, River?
Yeah.
What, you got some more questions for him?
Yeah, I was curious, do you prefer, for your animation fights, do you prefer pixel fights or the 3D model ones?
I think that really depends on the characters themselves. Like the Transformers versus Godzilla Total War, I really wanted it to be 3D, so I made sure Just Zeno tackled that episode, especially because I know a lot of people don't like the Bayformers, but I'm actually a huge fan of at least the battles in those movies. So I wanted that one be 3D, but a lot of fights that are like more pixel heavy, like say a Mega Man episode, I would prefer to be a sprite animation. So it all kind of depends on the characters themselves. But personally, I think sprite animation is I've tried both, but sprite animation I think is easier to pick up. But they're both difficult to master in terms of like animating. But it all kind of depends on who's fighting who.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, kind of based on the origin of where they come from. But then I guess I see where your answer is, and I see where Ruben's question is. So let's say, for instance, if it was Mega Man, a sprite person, versus a Transformer, which is more 3D.
Yeah.
Would you mix, for perhaps maybe this is something too later, you can do it like half sprite, half 3D, or back and forth?
Right.
Just to spice it up.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
We have a season finale for Rewind Rumble Season 2 that actually may do that. So, well, I'll just spoil it. That will happen in the Season 2 finale. There's gonna be a scene. I don't want to say which characters do it, but yeah, we actually have planned something similar to that.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice
So,
to see that, too. Yeah, keep evolving. Keep us on our toes. That's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
definitely.
Absolutely. So when it comes to characters, like you said, one is more strictly 2D, and one's more strictly 3D. Is it like? Would you say one of the best approaches is to like do a kind of a different animation, like, what's a good example like that of the DB with damn, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. Smokey the Bear, like that kind of animation where it kind of balances both characters out. Like with that
Yeah,
kind of,
Bobobo versus Axe Cop was actually
Yeah.
hand drawn. Yeah, so Bobobo had sprites, and Axe Cop we could have sprited or modified a police officer sprite sheet, but IO Animation really liked that idea and he wanted to give it a go. And we thought that was a really cool concept since like Axe Cop looks way better hand drawn in cell animation than he would in a pixelated fight. So yeah, we are open to doing different styles of animation. And of course, Cartoon Fight Club started with vector puppet battles with like the first Wario versus Knuckles, Mordecai and Rigby versus Finn and Jake 1. So yeah, definitely cell animation is always something that's like the hardest to pull off though, because cell animation takes so much time. I've only tried it very minimally. Like I think in Sanic versus Sanes, there's like a few drawn scenes, but yeah, that's gonna take, because like it takes a lot of tedious in terms of like each frame you have to draw something new. But when it's all said and done, though, that's obviously I think one of the most fun types of animations to watch because you could see like how everything comes to life. But yeah, we're always open to different types of animations beyond specifically sprite or specifically 3D.
Oh,
Gotcha.
I could jump in real quick. I was thinking stop animation with action figures.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that makes that dope. Yeah.
If you could easily find some talent out there, that would
Yeah.
like, reach out to them. Some of those channels are pretty big. That
some of them are really good.
Stop animation. Maybe see, because like especially you see how many figures that person has.
Yeah, or if we ever do like a Lego episode again, maybe have that one be a Lego animation. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah.
or like if we do like a Toy Story character, maybe try to like like Chucky
Yeah,
versus
exactly.
Chucky versus Woody.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great. Yes.
This guy pulled out his knife. You mean like this?
Yeah.
that animation would be sick. Honestly, that'd be perfect to watch.
Just throw the lasso around his neck and try to choke him.
Yeah.
There's a snake in my boot. Chucky's like, there's a snake in my pants.
Oh my God.
No matter how you would do that, I'm sure it would look absolutely amazing. But either way,
Man, that's awesome. Dude. That was a really, really good question. Is there another question you had, River, for him, or do you want me to ask him one?
Yeah. Well, I was very curious because like being a creator of like animation fights on YouTube, like you deal with critics of like fans of like who they feel like, oh no, this person should have won, or they approve of it. What what out of all your videos, what would you say was like your most like fan approved, like liked, and most like disliked, like fans like didn't like agree with?
Oh, okay. That is a really good question. I kind of have to think about that one. Well, the easiest answer would be any of the meme episodes because it's hard to be like angry over why one meme lost to another. But as regards to like a more serious one, here, let me pull up my episodes real quick. And
you did my boy Uganda Knuckles wrong, man.
Yeah.
Uganda Knuckles.
That was one of my.
You do not know the way AR. You
do not know the way.
I'm just playing.
You lost the way. That was one of the best meme ones. That was extremely hilarious.
One of the battles I think a lot of people were like kind of angry with was Don Patch versus Vegeta. They kind of like they didn't like how I had Don Patch win, but one of the ones where I think one of the ones that I think got perceived battles like Paper Mario versus Toon Link got perceived quite well. Spider-Man versus Blue Beetle, Garnet versus Yang. But yeah, another controversial one was Dio versus Alucard.
Oh yeah,
I was the one that I was
one.
the one that left that comment. Remember, I said I was like, I think Alucard should have won. I had a pretty lengthy explanation.
I will admit I didn't do a good enough job emphasizing Heaven Ascension Dio. I think because the episode we mentioned it and it was factored in, but I didn't think I did a good enough job explaining his reality warping with that form. And the episode really made it felt like we just stuck with base Dio. And even then, Alucard puts up a good fight in that. And yeah, that was one that was quite controversial. As for Cartoon Fight Club and specifically, Goku versus Superman, no matter what, is always going to have controversy.
Of course.
And
yeah,
then,
definitely.
And then our first Goku versus Saitama, even we admit I felt like we did a bad job with. And that one obviously got a lot of controversy. And say like YouTubers like Seth the Programmer was like one of the front runners and saying, hey, don't jump on the Saitama train too fast. And those are probably like one of the more, yeah.
I would think personally Saitama versus Krillin would be more of a fair fight.
Yeah,
I know it sounds
bald.
harsh. A lot of people go right away like, yeah, that would be the reason to put them together.
They're both
But, like,
bald.
yeah, but like still, like at the end of the day, I would say they're. And like I said, well, the show's not over, so we can't
right
Saitama out yet. He's still
What comes out is not over.
And knowing the writer, they're probably going to put him at that level eventually. But until we see it, we can't just assume it. Because that's the no limits fallacy pitfall you can fall into in the debate community.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're both humans too from Earth, so that's another connection too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're both bald. They're both near planet busting. I think that'd be the perfect matchup.
Well, Krillin technically shaves his head. Tien.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Tien instead, because Tien actually naturally is bald. He's a tetragen, but he still is bald.
True.
I mean, is Krillin technically human? Because I mean, I know Tien's like a mutant because he has like the third eye or whatever.
Okay. In their story, they're considered Earthlings, but in Allure of Star Ocean, it's a video game I used to play. It's an RPG, for those who don't know, but they actually named the ones with 3 eyes. They're called tetragens. That's why I made that comment.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's why I think the show Dragon Ball, I'll make this short, they almost could spin off like Tien, you're actually from another planet. But why would he act surprised with the 3rd eye? But my point is he would be from tetragens. That's his species. And they actually naturally, they had the 3rd eye. They had super strength naturally. They were stronger than any human on Earth, blah, blah, blah. That fits the narrative.
Yeah.
Perfect. But I digress.
So if I can ask just one more question, just one more. So out of all the battles you make in terms of Rewind Rumble itself, which is one you were the most proud of?
Oh, well, that's a good question too. Obviously, the Reality Warper Free For All, because it finally finishing it in of itself was an accomplishment. Okay. And then the first one, since I think that one really kicked off the series so well and strongly. And one of my personal favorites is Spider-Man versus Bumblebee, because that was one that I knew the matchup wasn't like conventional. Like obviously people would expect him to fight Blue Beetle, which he ended up actually doing later in the series. But that was one of my personal favorites because I'm like the biggest Transformers fanboy there is. So it was a lot of fun for me to like bring Bumblebee onto the series. And so those would be in like my top 3.
Right on. I definitely love that battle too. I thought it was extremely well made.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah. And also the best criticism I can say is the post-analysis song, "He's a Maniac."
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I'm sorry. Every time I hear it, I'm just like...
I do too. I love that.
Start doing that.
Yeah, I love that too. That's really entertaining.
I'll sneak a question in really quick here too. River, I'm sure you probably have maybe 1 or 2 left. I just wanted to ask really quick here about your opinion in the community, and this is a controversial thing, of course. What do you think about the whole? It's kind of 2 questions. We'll tackle one at a time. As far as lifting strength and striking strength goes, how do you feel about it? Because I remember at first it seemed to be acceptable. Then there was a time where it was like people were arguing and debating it. And now it seems like in the end, a lot of people are just saying, they're kind of the same now. Where do you think now?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they're kind of the same because like if you compare a boxer to a power lifter in real life, and you would put them in like a boxing ring and they had to strictly follow boxing rules, you would bet on the boxer, even though he probably couldn't lift as much as the power lifter.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of a famous boxer. Like if you put
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
Mark Henry can lift about 1,000 pounds. Sexual chocolate. He had the world record, and then Mike Tyson.
Yeah, like if you put him in a boxing ring, you would say Mike Tyson would win just off of and I bring that with travel speed and combat speed. I know that's another one too that people think should be one and the same, but like
I was just about to ask that too. Actually,
that was my other question.
Like I don't think Manute Bol. I mean, the runner. That's a basketball player. Who's the running guy? The name slips my head.
You're thinking about the Blaze or no, the Bolt.
Yeah, Bolt, Usain Bolt. I don't think he could punch as fast as, say, Floyd Mayweather could punch, and vice versa. I don't think Floyd Mayweather could run as fast as Bolt, but I just think like that too, they should be separated. Now, obviously in a fight, I think striking strength would matter more than lifting strength, unless it's like something, unless it's absurdly like different. Like if say like if the striker is like slightly higher versus the lifter who's like way more stronger in terms of lifting. But usually if it's close, I would favor striking strength in terms of who has the more quality feat or ability.
Well, yeah, because like Mike Tyson can bench in his prime, I'll say it. It was about 350 to 400 pounds. Mark Henry, Sexual Chocolate, had the world record. He could bench about 1,000. So in theory, he's 3 times stronger.
Right.
But I would put my money still on Tyson in any fight.
Even right.
I'll put Octagon. Let's say UFC. Yeah, if Mark Henry can grab him, sure, you could pick him up and slam him.
We also have to consider
he gets clocked once in the face. That he's gonna feel that, especially if it's
and we also have to consider technique as well, because the boxer's going to have a lot more technique, which is going to be, and that kind of relates to reaction speed too. Even if even a heavyweight tried to punch you, he's going to have a lot more reaction, and he's going to be able to keep those punches in. So technique is also something that's also a factor. But what I was going to say about in terms of like combat speed and reaction speed, do you think there was ever a case where those two kind of like correlate well with each other? Or they're just two completely different elements that using one like travel speed to justify someone's overall speed would matter in a fight, if that makes any sense?
Oh no, a lot of times they would correlate. Like say the Flash, when he taps into the Speed Force, he quote unquote can see faster and think faster, which is scientifically like not possible. But for a character like that like in comics, you could break logic a lot of times. So like when it comes to characters like the Flash, a lot of those are dead even, but say someone like Batman, who can't really run as fast as he can quote unquote dodge bullets. So like I wouldn't say Batman is Mach 2 in travel speed, even though he has a lot of bullet dodging feats in both the cartoon and in many different comics. So a question like that overall, I would say more often than not, a lot of them are similar. Like if a character is relatively fast traveler, odds are he's also a fast reactor and a fighter. But there are situations like Batman where he's just a fast reactor, but he couldn't run as fast as he could dodge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Batman only clocks at 30 miles per hour. He's about as fast as Bolt.
Yeah.
The world record. But yeah, like you say, dodges bullets and lasers, which technically we should assume then he could run Mach something.
Yeah,
so he can't. So yeah, it varies on the character. I see what you're saying. So
yeah, and how that also will compared to a fight. You know what I mean? Like how one can someone travel speed justify someone's speed overall, not just traveling and reaction, as well as punching speed and such and such.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And then I had one more question myself, River. Is there something you had something to ask or?
Yeah. You guys have brought up before when we were having technical difficulties with the internet connection. You guys have brought up that you had eventually got when you first thought the idea of wanting to do animation fights and everything was back when you did a project for high school or something. I was curious what eventually inspired you or made you want to pursue like creating animation fights on YouTube.
Yeah. So obviously, I started animation because I had a Go Animate project, but I wanted to take it to the next level. I got Anime Studio, which is Smith Micro software. But then I was gonna work. Cartoon Fight Club was actually originally supposed to be a parody to the Fight Club movie, where it was supposed to have like a story behind it and like cartoon characters, which almost like Toon Smith's UFC Ultimate Cartoon Fighting, where it wasn't supposed to be like a versus debate show. But when I started CFC, I was still in high school, so like I didn't really know where I was taking it. So I decided instead, I almost decided of like downscaling all the plot stuff, because like when I was a one-man wrecking crew, that was really difficult to like pull off. And Mordecai and Rigby versus Finn and Jake was actually supposed to be the first episode, which is why that episode actually had a bit of a plot into it. Like they both got like letters to fight each other and join up on this club. And then like, but Wario versus Knuckles ended up being first because I was working on both relatively around the same time. And that one was like a lot easier to finish. And then I just thought it would be much more simpler for me to like work on a debate aspect of it. And then I didn't plan on, I was like planning on stopping around Hulk versus Superman, but I started to realize, hey, there's actually like, there's a snowball effect going with this. It's something that could really grow, and obviously it did. So yeah, it started off it was almost a happy accident. Like I didn't like wake up one day and said, okay, I want to make a versus show. I want to call it this. I want to do that. It started off as something that was supposed to be something else, and it kind of just like happily and accidentally formed into like a versus debate show.
Nice.
Nice. That's really cool.
Kind of like that
Right
painter
on.
guy. We don't make mistakes. We make happy little accidents.
Yeah.
That's cool. Dude. There you guys have it, man. I've never heard that story either, obviously. So that's awesome,
cool.
dude. And it's so cool to hear origins of things, because from
Absolutely.
us, hundreds of thousands that are sub to you and watch. It's always like we don't know.
Yeah. It's humbling. It's really humbling, and I definitely feel blessed because I never planned this. I didn't say like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber one day. Like it just kind of it started off as a hobby, and it just kind of came. And like you never know with the internet too, like how things go and how they evolve. So yeah, it's definitely a true honor, and yeah, and I'm glad to share this with you guys. It's really cool.
The
thank
funny
you.
part is when you mention that, it seems like the people that don't even want to be a YouTuber, they just happen to get it and it blows up for them. Versus
Yeah,
the people that really
Absolutely.
want it are like struggling and they never get to levels that you get to.
right.
Like, it's very interesting because I hear a lot of the top people, they're like, I didn't even want, I just did it and like
Yeah,
it worked itself out. Like
right.
it's very
It's just-
life's
just-
funny that way.
It's just one of those moments where you don't consider something, but yet once you do it, it all of a sudden just blows up, and you just want to keep it going from there.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I think that's a very beautiful thing to pursue and stuff like that. But yeah.
So one of my favorites of your show is Wolverine versus Freddy Krueger.
Oh yeah, that was really fun.
The 3D animation, everything was just up there, and I love how Freddy was. Or I don't want to spoil it. By the way, you guys, for you watching, for sure, probably should throw his link in there for you guys. Go ahead and subscribe to the man. He's got 2 channels out there. He's putting in work. For sure, check out Wolverine versus Krueger. All right, y'all. I have one more quick question I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to post your link.
All right.
This is probably a very hard question. I know it's putting you on the spot.
That's okay.
What is your favorite episode overall of both channels? That's very hard.
Okay.
So
All right.
That's all tough.
Well, I have a personal bias. The one I would like to watch, or the meme free for all, which actually got taken down. It was episode 69. That was like my first ever like I could do whatever I want, and
69. That's probably why I'm not scared.
Oh,
There's a sexual title in it.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I re-uploaded it eventually,
Really?
but yeah, that one was so much fun, and it also like there was like so much I had fun to make and fun to watch, and another close one is the first MLG versus YTP Total War. And like that was the first ever like full-on meme battle that I ever did. So that holds a special place in my heart. But my favorite serious Cartoon Fight Club episode would be the Justice League versus Avengers Total War.
I love that one.
Yeah,
I love that one.
I feel like we did a really good job of having the animation flow so well, because like we really made sure, like, all right, if this person is dead, don't bring him back into the fight anymore, which is one of the problems future episodes had. And that's sort of my fault too, with like scheduling errors. Like I would schedule specific things, and then like animators would need more time to finish, so I would schedule a similar project. And but that one, we really made sure we buckled in and said, okay, if this scene is done, we're gonna leave it at that. And actually, if you watch that episode again, when the credits roll, there's actually another Flash versus Quicksilver, which we couldn't fit into the real episode, because we didn't want Quicksilver somehow come back to life and die again. So we saved it for the very end. And yeah. So that's my favorite cartoon Fight Club. And Rewind Rumble, that's a tough one. Like my mind changes from time to time on which one I like to watch or more, but my favorite thing to animate for Rewind Rumble was the Mario vs. Sonic Total War, that 8-on-8 scene with like that 3D map where I have like 8 Mario characters fighting 8 Sonic characters at the same time. And that took like forever. And I wanted to do a bigger scene for the free-for-all. I had a smaller one on like that 3D checkerboard, but the rendering on that was like killer, so I had to make that scene in specific a little shorter. But the Mario scene, there wasn't a lot of like other than like the grass and like the trees and stuff. It was relatively flat, so it was easier to render. But that was one of my favorite scenes to animate. A lot of times I'll go back and like watch it to like trying to remind myself how I did certain things. But my favorite one-on-one is either Spider-Man versus Bumblebee for bias reasons, or Dark Sonic versus Goku Black, because I feel like Andrew did a real good job on that. And
that was a cool one. I really like that.
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
I will say quickly, one of my favorite episodes was really one of the first ones that you did, which was I think Sailor Mars versus Bloom. That's like the first episode I watched when I got into it. And when you said, Sailor Mars is harder than Bloom, that just had me dying laughing. Like that just got me hooked. I'm like, I gotta subscribe to this guy. This is funny.
Awesome.
Saint Seiya, whatever his name is, versus Goku. My face was like, I was like, when he explained the feats, even when you explained the Sailor Scouts, I was like, man, these are bad bitches, man. Yeah. like you justified it though. See, a lot of people, this is the example I mentioned about the wank thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, that makes sense, like where you come from. And a lot of people were like, no.
Well, when it comes to Sailor Moon, I actually owe the SS Ultimate Goku a lot of thanks for that, because like he's one of the biggest Sailor Moon fans on our team. So like
doesn't surprise me actually.
Yeah. So like he knows more than you would think when it comes to that verse. Like he's a diehard Sailor Moon fan, and he's helped out on a lot of those episodes. And Vegito 1089 has also been a big help on those episodes as well. And he also animated Sailor Moon versus Wonder Woman, which was really cool. But quick shout out to Vegito too. He's been in kind of a rough spot lately as far as like monetization and personal things. So like yeah, he might even make a new channel too, because like I don't know, Google is really like treating him pretty harshly. But
that was the channel on Twitter you just mentioned, right?
Yeah.
I retweeted that. I liked it and retweeted it.
Yeah.
Likewise.
That's unfortunate. I remember when
I know.
Through it,
Yeah.
I reached out to like Maystar Media and a bunch of other people, and they actually retweeted.
I really appreciate
everybody
that.
Came together, so that was really nice.
I did as well.
People do care, and that's good.
That means the world to me. Like it's undescribable how this community, really is there for each other. But Vegito currently, his situation is a little different. It's like some sort of like AdSense issue, which is like different than actual channel monetization. I don't know. They kind of like are kind of giving him the cold shoulder, so he might have to make a new channel. So if he does, I'm obviously going to let my fans know about that. But we're kind of playing a waiting game right now. But he's been going through quite a bit recently.
Yeah, absolutely. That's sad.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
like YouTube as a company, when they do it to someone, they just like whatever. But like coming from anyone even watching, if you guys aren't YouTubers, some of you are just fans, like. When you get hit with that, it's almost like you get dumped by your lover. Like,
that's a good way to put it.
It feels like it does. Like, to get your channel, like, your heart will
Yeah.
skip a beat.
Your hard work.
You feel like it's in your throat. It leaves here and it like travels somewhere and it ends up here. And you're just like, and like he said, the fact that the cold shoulder, there's no one to call.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's a very depressing, and I think I don't want to bring him up Etika too much, but that led to a downward spiral.
Yeah. It's unfortunate what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that is, I would say that was what started his downward spiral.
Right.
So like it's not, some people could just shrug it off like whatever, but some people take it so personal. And if that is their life, especially if it's your income, I mean, you got a house and kids to feed, whatever.
Right. It's really scary.
So it's like every day you wake up looking like, am I still around? Like, and that's scary too. It's almost like a communist setup.
Yeah, it's really tough.
I mean? It's really scary, and a lot of people don't realize that. They're just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, especially for us too, because like so many animators rely on this channel too, and like if that didn't get resolved, I don't even know what we would have done. But it would have been like quite doomsday type scenarios, because every time, I don't want to get like in too much details in terms of like funding and stuff, but running this is very expensive, and it takes a lot of like preparation as far as like paying and stuff goes. So if YouTube really like ignored us completely, it would have been quite devastating. So I'm very thankful for everyone who retweeted, who helped out, and as a community coming together, it means a whole lot more than you guys can realize, because that was our only way to get it back, is like screaming on Twitter, because like if you email them, they're going to give you some copy paste answer, but if like you do a public outcry, then they're going to try to meet you halfway. But yeah, which is why I greatly appreciate all those who supported us on Twitter.
Yeah, it's crazy that Twitter actually has a purpose.
Yeah.
That's the only reason to me why Twitter exists. And I almost want, I mean, I think who are they? Not Equals 3, H3H3. They started some type of thing where like you tweet them and then they'll deliberately spam to all their followers and they'll all spam Team YouTube. But like, that's right, you mentioned that to me, AR.
Yeah, they called it FUPA, which I think it stands for Fair Use Protection Agency. So like, they started it because they were fighting a fair use case. Their videos got taken down and they had to take it to court. So their job is to like look out for other channels who are having like fair use issues, and the whole like the where's the fair use movement, that like I hate everything, your movie sucks, and Channel Awesome, they like spiraled that movement as well. And it's kind of crazy how like the creators are starting all these movements instead of YouTube themselves. But it's come to that point where it's up to us, to fend for ourselves.
I still just kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's smaller channels out there they don't represent. I don't know if they just get buried in the whole, because there's obviously going to be that guy that will like pirate everything, right? He'll just download Home Alone, and Halloween 3 on VHS, and he'll upload it. His channel gets deleted, then he goes, "Oh, where's the fair use?" And then like, okay, that guy can go to. But my point is, like, there's a lot of other people like you and other people that could just get swept under the rug. Obviously, you're a bigger channel, but someone like me, for instance, because everything I react to, I get permission from, and it's scary still, and I almost wish there still was a person just dedicated to taking everyone's tweets seriously and not just, because I see they put it together for the fair use,
right?
But I still haven't seen them prove that they're looking out for the smaller channels.
Right.
Maybe I'm just not paying attention to the news.
No, I think you bring up a very valid point, and they would probably say that it's going to be almost impossible to look out for everyone, but you're also right. There probably should be a movement started for like the smaller channels. It's really hard because like the internet is so huge, and like to put it into words on like how like tough it is to like really like be responsible for like every single person. Obviously, unfortunate things are going to happen, but there definitely should be at least a smaller movement. I think there is a channel called like reused content failure, which is like for like people who falsely get reused content, they post to that Twitter account. But yeah, I definitely agree that like it is tough if you're a smaller creator. There was this one Dragon Ball animator who I'm not sure if he got resolved or not, but he's a sprite animator. YouTube kept ignoring him quite a lot too. So yeah, it's super tough and scary how quickly and devastating it would be if you're a small channel. And I always try to retweet smaller channels if I see they're having monetization issues. And I don't have a lot of followers on Twitter either, but you know, any little bit helps. So it's definitely a scary place with how YouTube runs their site.
Yeah, maybe we should all start like Viva la Resistance.
Yeah.
if I had to really guess how it would work, is it would be something where you sit down. There would be about, you know, maybe about 10 to 20 people that you really can trust. You all would have this account on Twitter, and everyone just kind of looks through it from time to time. Like if you're on Twitter, just check it. And if you see something, look into this person's channel. It depends, of course, if their channel's terminated already. It's hard because everyone can say, "Oh, I didn't do anything wrong," but you know, someone reach out to them and be like, "Okay, prove to me then that I should fight for you." It sounds harsh, but you want to interview this person before we stick your neck out for them. And then if you find out it's true, then you go ahead and tweet. And then if you have, you know, everyone just, hey, follow this channel, because if this happens, your job as a follower, please, if you will, take 2 seconds out of your time, retweet and put at Team YouTube and say, why did you do this? You know what I mean? Like, but of course, it's just getting people to just do it though. And but the more followers you have, of course, the more you can make it happen. See, like my eyes, I would love to have a Twitter. I'd love to be a part of a round table to look out for the smaller channels.
You know, that's a really good idea, and I could probably pass that idea to BTL Video Productions, because I know he's very emphatic on like Twitter and stuff. Maybe we could start something between us, and if you want to create a public account, that's something I would be interested in. And Absolutely. I'll try to
definitely.
Yeah, and I'll try to use my influence. I don't have a lot of influence on Twitter. I only have like 1,500 followers, but if we want to create like a catchy name and something that could like click, I think it's something we could set up and have like a joint account at the very least.
And Maystar Media, we can get him on board too. I know Maystar would help us. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I could contact him and see if he'd be interested in something like that. So definitely,
it would just be like I said. It's like we, you know, obviously on our free time we'd research it. We all decide like, hey, is this person worth batting for? And boom. And I know it's like we can't reach everybody, but I'd say you know, if you have at least a good solid, you know, 10 people you could trust,
right?
At least, you know, that just works on that. And obviously, you don't use that Twitter. Don't go politic or any shit like that.
Right.
You leave that shit at home. It's just strictly for looking out for the people.
Right.
That's it. That's it. And like, I know some cats on my squad I can trust, like Ivan for sure. You know.
Right.
I don't know about that River guy though. I don't know, man.
We'll find that. I'm out.
I can trust River. I can trust River wholeheartedly. So believe me.
But yeah, it's something we can talk off camera about.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the last question I had though too. Is there anything else you wanted to say quick before we go to the questions? I know we're kind of probably going to overtime now. How are you doing for time right now? AR?
I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay. So is there anything quick you want to say, or do you want to get into the questions now? AR.
I mean, if you have anything to ask me, I'm down to answer it, or we could do the fan questions.
Yeah, this would be the fan questions. I didn't know if you wanted to add any more to what we were saying. Let's move to the questions.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good. Okay, everybody. So start throwing in your questions now. I'm going to start with here. When are you going to do the rematch that hit the like goal? Says James Lefbrevet. I don't know what rematch, because I remember if this video gets so many likes, I don't know what video is referring to, because you have a lot of those.
Yeah,
videos.
There's actually a lot we intend to eventually do. Say like the Reality Warper Free For All hit its goal, I think, back in 2017, and we would have liked to get that out sooner, but obviously that took 2 whole years to really finish. So. Another one was Mordecai and Rigby versus Finn and Jake 2. That also hit its goal. And we have a lot on our list that needs to be rematched, which they'll eventually come. It's going to be so hard to put a timetable on them, because like I know a lot of, I don't, if for people recently tuning in, a lot of people, the episodes look like they come out really fast, but behind the scenes, especially Rewind Rumbles, take roughly 3 months, and CFCs take about a month and a half. And there's just so much like preemptive work that it looks like it's coming out faster. But to make a long story short, we are gonna try to eventually get all the rematches out, but I can't promise them they'll be out right away, especially because like we don't really like to rush any of the Rewind Rumbles, of course, and then unless it's like a joke episode of Cartoon Fight Club, then that might be like an expectation, like say like Ricardo Milos versus Alien X. That wasn't really something like we seriously like made sure was like, it was more of like a joke episode. But to make a short answer, we are working on the rematches.
Okay, right
Right
on.
on.
The next question is, I don't know if this is personal, but Rita wants to know how old you are.
Oh, I'm 22.
Oh, wow,
Really?
you're young,
Yeah.
Buck, man. You all
Yeah.
You're
kids,
way
man.
young.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, dude, you're young. What the heck?
Yeah, I thought you really
That's
like 20, 27 or something.
Oh,
Wow.
no. I mean, I started when I was 13, so like, that was
Dang!
back. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I'm 22.
All right.
Putting in work.
Put in the work. All right.
So Wizard did have a long question, but it's kind of still more just battle based in general. So I guess they said, would you agree with the statement that the characters are not the only factors in a fight, such as location, preparation, such as Kid Goku versus Classic Sonic? You factored what many wouldn't.
Oh yeah, location has a lot to do with it. Let's bring in animals, for example, like say a walrus versus a tiger. If that battle took place in the ocean, you would say the walrus would win. But if that battle took place in the jungle, you'd say the tiger would win, regardless. So even with characters, like say if we put home court advantage is a big deal for someone like say Batman. He knows Gotham like the back of his hand. But if you throw him on some distant planet, he's gonna feel like very defensive and not know where to like the best hideouts are. And definitely circumstances such as prep time and location do play factors. Though, like if they're characters that are kind of godly, like Goku, who can easily instant transmission anywhere or fly somewhere relatively fast, that's when stuff like battle location probably wouldn't mean too much.
Like I personally think Aquaman could take Superman underwater.
Right, like that's another good
yeah.
example.
I think he could. Like in the water, that's his jam, you know.
Or even in the speed, or even Aquaman and Flash in the Speed Force. Speed Force got him too. So it's like so like when you do these type of battles, it's always trying to find a good neutral area where both characters will be at their max potential. So
one thing I do have constructive criticism on every community of this is I feel that Batman should be entitled to his prep time because that is his superpower. His superpower obviously is his money, right?
Yeah,
that's how he affords his stuff, his martial arts, and his prep time. I've never, because consistently speaking, Batman is prepared. Like it's super rare he's ever caught in a fighting situation. He wasn't. So that would be part of his skill base. That he's he's a freaking Boy Scout on steroids.
Right.
You know? So that's why whenever I see like these versus channels try to represent Batman, they're almost like they just throw him in there naked and like, here you go. You know, you're a top tier human. Fight Black Panther. Like in my eyes, I think he could take Black Panther if they would just give him prep time.
Right.
Like, I really feel that. And I feel like they should give him that because that's how he's represented in the comic. Like, that's how he's relevant. Right. Because he has the prep time. Then so I understand. I agree though with that question. Anybody else got any more input? We'll go to the next one.
I think we should go to the next one. So right after that was from Rita Sims. Will you ever do a house tour?
Oh, a house tour? Maybe. Maybe one day at the very least a room tour and share off all my like Transformer figures because I got a lot of like old G1 figurines that maybe I would love to show off. But I'll definitely consider it. At the very least, maybe a room tour. I would definitely like to geek out over the toys I've collected.
That's awesome. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get to the next question from Rita Sims. What state do you live in?
Oh, Ohio. Sorry, I'm in the same state as Jake Paul. or at least from. Yeah.
Sorry.
Where was you at when I was collecting Transformers? Never mind.
Okay. Next question again from Rita Sounds. How long does it take for you to make a short animation?
Okay, so if it's a sprite animation and it's
Probably
one.
like Fatal Conflict, I think, is what she's going with, right?
Oh, Fatal Conflict. They actually make those are quite long. Like Jamix 007 is that front runner for the Fatal Conflict movie, which is it's been in production for over a year now, and it's about like 70% complete, and that's shooting for December. So that actually is taking quite a bit. But say like in general, a sprite animation at the level of say a Rewind Rumble animator, they probably would need a good 2 months for like a 2-minute fight. But if you're trying to go for something quick, like maybe a Cartoon Fight Club, if it's at least 60 seconds long, you could probably knock out everything in terms of like ripping the sprite, setting up all the labels for the sprites, all the pre-animated loops, and then actually animating everything. You could probably do it in about 100 hours. But if you split that into like say 4 hours a day, you could probably knock it out in 2 weeks. It takes a bit of time animating. There's a lot of work that goes into it. But also, if everything is set up, I don't want to get too like nerdy about this, but like as far as sprite characters go, if you animated Sonic once, animating him the second time will be easy because you no longer have to cut his sprite sheet out. You no longer have to align his sprites. You no longer have to set up the labels. So all the loops are already there. And then from the get-go, it'll probably be done in half the time. So it all, there's like so much variables. And then of course, adding the audio in, like all the hit effects, that could also take quite a bit of time. So it's kind of hard to answer as like knock it out and answer the question. So yeah, there's a lot of variables, but it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it varies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I would say like, isn't it from what I was told, like 8 seconds of animation is like a week? Isn't it like 40 hours?
Oh, if you're drawing it, probably, but sprite can take. You could do a lot faster, especially if you're using a character that the sprite's already organized and like cut out.
Yeah. All right. So next question. Go, Evan.
Next question would be, what happened to Cartoon Fight Night?
Oh yeah. All right. My brother started the series, and then it's technically on like a long-term hiatus because he got super busy with school. Maybe one day we'll bring it back, but like, I mean, I could bring it back, but then technically it would just be Cartoon Fight Club on a different channel because that was really his series. And then when he went on his hiatus, I use that to like make memes and stuff. So like right now I'm kind of just like, making random videos on that channel. But if he's ever interested, like I don't want to like overstep his series, but like because it's still technically his channel. I'm just kind of like holding the fort down with it and stuff. But yeah, the reason why I went on hiatus is because like he got really busy with school, and so because it's technically his series. But if he ever wants, it could make a return. It's not like definitively canceled or definitively like it's just kind of like a very long hiatus, but it may one day make a return.
Okay, yeah.
Right on. So I guess we get to the next question, which is who do you think would win in the fight, Meta Knight or Shadow?
Oh, maybe
well,
for an episode, if you want to say
yeah.
Oh yeah, my bad. Let's skip that one.
We're trying to skip the
battle
conflict, type
of
yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my bad. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No worries.
Okay, so next question from Rita Smith, I guess, is what's your least favorite game?
Least favorite game, like as far as video games, that's tough. I don't know if I like hate a game, but in my childhood, one of the hardest games, I don't know if you'll know this, but there's an old PS2 game called Extermination, where you play as this Navy SEAL fighter named Dennis, and like you're trapped in like Antarctica, you're fighting bacteria. I remember like starting that game, but never being able to finish it because it was like so scary for me when I was like 8 years old. But I don't know if I hate a specific game. Like I generally like I don't really like hate a lot of things in terms of like media or stuff. Like if I don't like something, I kind of just like not like get angry over it and like try to forget about it. But I don't know if I have like a specific game I hate.
You haven't played Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania on NES then?
No, I guess.
Oh no, yeah.
You want to learn how to break a controller properly? You put that. You slap one of those cartridges into your old box.
Oh, really?
Try not to rage challenge. There you go. And you were forced to play it for 8 hours straight, and you have to beat it. Good luck.
Oh boy.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
it's that
Those
tough.
games are treacherous. They are treacherous. We had another question here coming in from who was the next one there, Ivan?
The next one was my boy Shorty P from Marty's Crew. He asks, was there an episode where you were surprised or disappointed by who the winner could be, or after doing the research?
Oh yeah, it was all right. I'm gonna admit supreme bias on this, but it was really hard to kill Optimus Prime in the Godzilla versus Transformers Total War. Yeah, but I had to because without the matrix of leadership, he didn't have anything in his deck of cards. So like I had to put him down, even though like I fought really hard to try to make them win, but they had to lose, so they lost. And there's actually a fight coming up soon. I don't want to say what, but to give you a hint, it's from one of my favorite childhood movies, and this movie's getting a remake soon, and he might be getting a fight soon as well, and it's going to be tough to like put him in that battle. Another one was Pikachu versus Stitch, because Stitch was one of my all-time favorite Disney characters, but spoiler alert, even though the video's years old, but we had Stitch lose, so that was also tough to have him put down. But yeah, a lot of times a lot of characters I favor, they're going to lose if they lose, even if I like them more. And but that's just how the rules work.
Yeah, there's another funny one here from Creep Switch. Does that name sound familiar?
Yeah, he's on the team.
His question is when will I get a raise?
You'll get a raise when he finishes his first battle script, because he's working on a season 2 fight script. So
get to work, Creep. What are you doing here? No, I'm just thanks for joining, Creep. Go ahead, Ivan, with the other questions. Go ahead.
All right, right on. So the question is, what's your second favorite Transformer?
My second favorite, I mean, yeah, that's tough. If we're doing Decepticons, Soundwave is like Soundwave is so cool. Like even his figure is cool, because like holding his like cassette and everything, and it's funny, he has 2 cassettes. There's a I'm having a brain fart here, but of course brain fart. Sorry. Soundwave would probably be like one of my all-time favorite Decepticons. My favorite Autobot obviously is Optimus Prime, and then Bulkhead from the animated series, and of course from Transformers Prime. I could relate to Bulkhead a lot personally. My favorite Transformers female is probably Alita 1. My favorite Minicon would have to be Rumble. My favorite human is probably Spike from the original G1 series, and yeah, I don't know. It's hard to pick a favorite Transformer, but
I like Bruticus. Of course, that's fused, but
yeah, and Triptychon is another cool one. But there's a lot to pick from.
Okay, that's cool. There was another question here, but it's technically not a versus question. It's more like he's like, who's edgier? You think that would be okay to ask?
Yeah, you can ask me that.
Okay, so it's like, who's more edgier, Meta Knight or Infinite? Infinite from, I believe,
Sonic. Who's edgier? I would say Infinite is, because like he's more self-aware about it. Meta Knight is like, well, it depends. If you go off the anime, Meta Knight is pretty dark. Like he has a lot of old war stories, but yeah, I guess Infinite is because he's more self-aware.
Right on, and also he was the same guy who voiced Gara, so that immediately makes.
Yeah.
a quick constructive criticism coming from Rita Smith. When it comes to the Sonic characters, she asks, you keep using the Green Hill Zone. She would like to see different ones, such as like the Rooftop Run or City Escape.
I'll have to bring that up with my animators then, because like the Green Hill Zone is probably the most animation friendly because it's got the most resources, but definitely we'll try to consider expanding Sonic's universe if we bring him back.
Yeah, just some constructive criticism from Rita. Thank you, Rita, for that. Really quick. The next one is James. Why do you not make any more versus the world videos? It was not the beat, but at least did not clickbait your viewers like an amazing world of Gumball and something or Family Guy. I'm kind of
It was
lost
not
in
the
that
beat.
question, but I'll let you.
I mean, if he's referring to the compilations, we could probably bring them back. I sometimes upload compilations, like we did. The most recent one I think was. I'll have to Google that real quick. I mean, I'm open to bringing them back, but yeah, I don't know. I could bring them back if they really want them to, but they're just compilation videos. But
Okay, that's kind of what the person's asking about. So hey, it's up in the air. He'll keep that in the back of his noggin. JT says, "How about you make Optimus Prime versus Simba, King of Hearts, Simba?
oh,
Your favorite characters? That would be an interesting one.
yeah,
That
well,
would be, yeah.
that would be
But
interesting.
I don't know.
One thing that we have toyed with was Optimus Prime versus Goku. It would a teen, and we would do like Teen Gohan Fighter, most favorite character versus my most favorite character. So, but versus Simba, actually, I'll spoil it right now since this is like an exclusive thing. We are actually planning on doing Simba versus Kimba the White Lion. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So yeah, that one's gonna. I don't want to spoil anything further from that, but that's gonna be really fun.
That already sounds like a lot of fun. I cannot wait to see that.
Definitely.
So I guess the next question is from Creep Switch. How often will the new rap battle series be made?
Yeah, that came out like I think today. That one, if we might do a few more, and I know Creep Switch is big in the rap battle community, and I would actually like, if he's interested, I would like to get him involved with some future projects. But the first one was more like a beta. Like a lot of times I'll experiment with series, and if they don't pick up, then I don't want to invest too much time on things that the viewers wouldn't really be interested in, because like time is like the one thing you can't get back. So like I always try to like budget my time very like strictly. So if it picks up, then I would be interested doing more in the future. And if he wants to help out, I'm more than willing to accept his expertise, because Creep has done a lot of rap battles. He's got a lot on SoundCloud, and he's very active in the rap battle community. So like check out his stuff. Just Google Creep Switch or check out his YouTube channel. Off the top of my head, his channel should be linked in Garnet versus Yang, because he co-hosted it in that one. So yeah, we might do more of those in the future.
Yeah, just an FYI too. I'm also a really good writer too, and I used to do rap metal and doom metal and shit.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
I was actually a heavy metal musician. I took first in my state and wrote a bunch of shit. But
yeah,
if you ever
awesome.
need help with writing, parodying lyrics,
yeah,
I could definitely write some stuff up.
Shoot me an email. I would be very interested in like working with you on a lot of stuff, especially for the voice acting as well. Hit me up on that email, and I could share you with some stuff we haven't lined up.
For sure.
That's awesome, definitely. So I guess the next question from Wizard Warrior Rewind: what's the kindest thing you've ever done for a fan?
I remember one time one of the fans' parents wanted a birthday phone call for their son, and I got to call him on his birthday, which was and it really lit up his day. So that was really cool. Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and I always love.
Really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool, and like it really made his day, and it was super cool, and the mom was really excited about it, and in general, I always do my best to shout out up and coming animators, and like whether it be through like a small community post or like a quick video. I used to run a series called Fan Night where I would feature submitted projects and stuff. So like I'm always trying my best to help the community, and yeah, but that phone call was like one of my all-time favorite memories in terms of like a specific fan.
Yeah, one thing if I can mention real quick is that's one thing I noticed about you and the whole community, why you stood out, is you're more down to earth with the whole community versus like Death Battle's more of like a corporation. How I and the way they handle it, and I'm not throwing shade at anyone's practices, but I don't want to say it's a double-edged sword, so you should discontinue it. But I do see that's very nice of you, because what I've seen, is helped out animators that no one's heard of, got them up and coming, and some of them even get sniped from you, because they see the talent. But you've helped people, especially this community. You've helped out more than any other versus community on here. I see that, really, I do.
Yeah,
and I think that's amazing. And unfortunately, the you're still being the bigger person, but the drawback, of course, is it reflects on your channel too, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. I do agree. Go ahead.
I see why you made Rewind Rumble when you made it. I remember when you did, because some newer artists, you gave them a chance, and then people come to your channel and they see the animation as beginner status. I'm just gonna say it that way. I'm not. And then people judge you on it, and it's like, no, like you got, like, that's why I liked it, because I saw it. I saw beyond the animation. I'm older. I grew up playing regular. I played Atari. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like, when I see graphics, I don't. I see, am I having a good time or not? I don't judge it 100% on that. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely like wooed by people that do, that are on a S tier, animation.
Right.
But I accept everything, and that's kind of where I see you as. Like, you're, to me, like, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but like you're
like the startup gig for a lot of animators. Like if like a business owner owned a little stage and like, hey, come recruit, or like a college basketball team before they go to the NBA, because there's actually been a lot of CFC animators that end up working for Screw Attack. So like, it's like,
that's what I meant.
Yeah. So it's like they come here to like the NCAA, then they go off to the NBA or the NFL, and it's like, I do see it like that, and and I do reach out to a lot of people, and I put my pants on the same way as everyone else, and that's how I like to look at it too. So like, I keep my ego at the door, and but also like a Screw Attack. I kind of understand where they go from. Like, they do a good job hiding the illusion. Like, it really feels like more magical. Whereas like how, like, if I say, okay, this person did this, it does break the illusion. Like, a lot of people think like what we do is a little bit more like cheap, because they think I'm just like taking someone else's work, when in fact it's the exact opposite. I'm like commissioning these things, and like there's a lot of planning going on, and it's a lot more than just me saying, hey, can I feature this animation? It looks really cool. It's saying, hey, would you like to animate for our team and stuff like that? So like, it does. And that's why we did start Rewind Rumble, to sort of like separate between, okay, you're a really good animator, let's put you on a series where it could reflect that. And hey, you're a beginner, so why not animate for this channel?
Right on.
Yeah, and I do like that you did that, because I remember I was saying that a long time ago. I was like, well, I'm not really, like I said before, I'm not really into the whole meme thing, unless it's like some random meme that I happen to just like out of like,
right.
I'll watch that one. But for the most part, like your serious battles is kind of like with the research. That's where I end up flocking. That's just
right.
Everyone's got their cup of tea.
I feel
right.
Yeah. I feel the same way, especially, well, there are some meme battles that I really did enjoy, and I just like the fact that you acknowledge that and you really take certain steps about it. Like, I think that's a very great thing to do. That's like, acknowledging it. You're actually really working hard to make it actually better. Like, you're actually showing it, and I think that it really shows in your work.
Oh, thank you so much.
And like I said, the biggest thing is you've helped out this community more than anybody. That was like my main take.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
It's amazing. Like,
highlighting animators.
I don't. At the end, it's like you're a very selfless person.
Oh, thank you so much.
Not to be confused.
Right.
Yeah. So like, that's what I got out of your channel the whole time, and that's why I was like,
I really appreciate that. I mean, I don't want to pat myself on the back or anything, because
you
like,
should.
You should, yeah, totally.
Oh, but thank you guys so much. It's really humbling to hear that from you. And I mean, I feel like it's also paid off too. I mean, we got a really talented team, and I just feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, this format is working for us, and we're gonna keep it up.
Absolutely.
You have the next question ready, Ivan? Sorry, my eyes kind of. I just looked over there for a second and I got lost.
It's okay. I got the next question. It says, what happened to salt assault?
Oh yeah, we kind of stopped doing that because like
people got so pissed off with your instinct Shaggy whoop Goku.
Oh, funny thing about that.
That shit was hilarious. They're like,
to my knowledge, I don't want to say like we invented the Shaggy meme, but like to my knowledge, that was the first Shaggy fight where like Shaggy fought someone really powerful. Like I mean, I'm not saying we invented the meme, but like if we uploaded that, like say in 2019, it probably wouldn't have gotten a lot of hate. But when we uploaded it in 2016, it really caused a lot of drama. But one of the main reasons why we stopped it is because like the show is a bit of a one-trick pony. Like it came to a point where you knew what was going to happen the moment you saw the thumbnail. Like if it was say Chicken Little versus Broly. And the point of the series was to have like a really weak character beat up a really strong character. And it just came to a point where creatively it felt like the series wasn't really exciting as it once was when it first started. Like it had its time, it had its 15 minutes of fame, and then maybe we'll bring it back if we ever feel like it. But just as a gimmick itself, it was a one-trick pony. So that's why it was a bit short-lived.
What you could do, and I know this is hard, somehow make the fight kind of seem based, but like a third character would jump in and somehow wipe them both out. I don't know.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
Eyeballing the idea, but like I don't know, like somehow, because like people would watch it and be like, okay, who's gonna ruin the show? Or
that's a good idea.
Just an idea.
Yeah, that's a great way to salvage it. I'll say definitely go for it. Okay, so the next question is, when is your birthday?
February 9th.
Jesus, do y'all want his social security too? Yeah. Where's your address?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, the mercy! You better stop with these. No. Editor, cut this part out.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to the next question from Rita Smith. How much money does it take for 3D animation and 2D and 2D and cell animation?
All right. Well, I mean that's a bit of a personal one, but sometimes the average is hundreds, but Total Wars can like flirt with thousands. It's very expensive. Like I mean, I'm not trying to brag or anything. Like I'm not like super like loaded or anything, because like most of the money the channel makes is reinvested into the channel, and like so in a lot of months like we're barely breaking even. Like being an animator on YouTube is super difficult, and like so. That's why like a lot of old school animators like the Game Grumps moved strictly just to gaming, because like especially being a Flash animator where you draw every single keyframe from scratch, in this day and age it's like super tough to like do consistently. And so like to make a long story short, animation is a lot more expensive than people realize, and not just our animation, but animation in general. I feel like it definitely deserves some applause.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's very insane. That's why piracy is a big deal. How they want to crack down it hard, because it's ridiculous how much it goes into it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like,
okay, so. No, go ahead.
I guess real quick, like a Dragon Ball Super episode, I heard it costs them like $250,000 just per episode.
Damn.
To literally create, and people just like, oh, let's go pirate it. it's like you're basically stealing $200 and some thousand worth of property. You know, when you think about it, it's like, damn, you know.
That's true. So, next question. Do you like the live-action Transformers movies?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Bayformers. Even though I totally get their criticisms, but like if you want to see two giant robots like punch each other out, that's definitely a good place to go. But my favorite series of all time would have to be Transformers Prime, because I think it takes all the great stuff about the Bayformers in terms of action, and then it takes a lot of the story elements from the Generation 1 series, especially like staying true to Optimus Prime's character. Like one thing in the Bayformers is like Optimus Prime threatens to kill humans, and obviously like in Transformers 4, which is something Optimus Prime would never do in any other Transformers series you could think of. My second favorite Transformers series would probably be Transformers Animated, which was a lot of people didn't like the designs in that one, or the fact that go ahead, you were gonna say something?
No, I was just saying, I actually really did enjoy it, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, like, but that one was one of my favorites. I'm a huge fan of obviously Transformers Armada, and Beast Machines was also really cool. And I could just talk all day on which series I like more, but yes, I do like the Bayformers. Although I do understand why people don't like them, because story-wise, it is kind of hard to follow. Like, it seems like the artifacts are usually just plot devices, and the characters are kind of out of line sometimes, but I do enjoy them, especially for like the CGI parts of it.
Right on, right on. So, yeah, another question is, this is a pretty big one that I've been pondering on asking. So, Nate, you think it's okay to ask this one? It's all right.
Go
You
ahead.
got to go ahead. What is your opinion on Green Lantern, the Benton versus Green Lantern?
Well,
I still.
look, I don't. I think it was really well made.
We can skip it if you want. I'm sorry.
I mean, like, look. I'll just say that they worked hard on it, and that opinion came from it came. I'm not gonna say like they weren't trying to like make mistakes. Like they worked really hard on it, and I respect their work content wise. So I mean, the episode itself was fun to watch, but the results, you know.
I disagree with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well. All right. So, we should get to the next question then.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just telling everybody quick, and I'll say it out loud to you guys. Definitely, like I said, everybody, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff. But for sure, make sure you go to AR's channel. Obviously, our guest here, I'm going to put him on blast and show his mug so y'all can see him, and only him right now. Please subscribe to Animation Rewind or Cartoon Fight Club. I mean, Animation Rewind or Rewind Rumble.
Both.
And I just sent both links in there, everybody. So, yeah, go ahead, Ivan.
All right, sounds good. So, one of the question is, are you planning on to get some new animators?
You know, we're always interested in expanding our team. So if you ever want to animate for the series, you could email me at animationrewind@gmail.com. And, you know, you could show me what you're currently working on or projects you've made in the past. And if we like what you see, we could schedule in some sort of project to work on in the future. But definitely, we're always interested in building upon the team.
Who's doing really good right now is Dual Dreamer. I know you gave him a shout out.
Yeah.
He got really good, really fast.
Yeah.
He did.
He's very talented himself, and his battle mode series is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoy his stuff. He's really gotten significantly better. Definitely.
I was really, like, when I saw it, I was like, I'm really looking forward to seeing him appear on your show. And then
maybe one day.
The co-host would probably
be
Jedi. It'd be Jedi. If I might even be Duo in there too, but for Jedi for sure, I had a
feeling.
I would hear him in there, the Bender.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, next question. Are you going to bring back YouTube free-for-alls?
Yeah, we actually do have animation started for some of those. They kind of it's been so hard to keep up, especially since the Reality Warper free-for-alls delay kind of like shifted a lot of the bigger projects around. But we do plan on eventually finishing the YouTube free-for-all. It is on our to-do list, so we haven't forgot about it. It's just kind of been tough to get at.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, man, you juggle a lot. You're like that guy at the circus that instead of just like 3 balls, you probably are like doing like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Probably more.
I see how much work you're putting out for your verses, like you got your hands in every one of those.
Yeah, it's crazy. So go ahead. You finish.
If I had to guess, you're probably, if you're not sleeping, you're doing this. And
yeah. I mean,
even you doing this right now for us is like, that's a big honor too. And I know you're like
absolutely,
definitely. So that's why, like, once again, we all really appreciate you being here.
Oh, not a problem. But yeah, I am
putting out, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is very. My head's always spinning. Like I'm thinking about 100 things at once and a lot of planning, and it's very time draining. It's like eat, sleep, work, repeat. It's like it takes a lot, but I definitely wouldn't ask for anything else. Like this is my passion. I'm going to chase it. So yeah, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of work to do, but it feels good doing it too. So
if you get a chance, do the Saitama regimen every other day.
Oh yeah.
Try to do 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and only 2 miles. Don't do 6. You'll break your shit.
Yeah.
Every other day, or twice a week. Just do that and get a treadmill. You'll be fine. Because trust me, you're 22 now. And I heard that. I was like, okay, when you get my age, you don't do anything, you're going to feel it.
Yeah, to get another personal thing, I was actually like way heavier than I am now. Like I actually lost about 100 pounds. And I still got a ways to go. But like back in high school, I was a really big kid, and I'm still kind of like fluffy right now. But it's something I do want to work on too. But I should get more serious and like have a workout regimen too.
I feel you on that.
Right on.
I was 260 back in October. I'm down to 230s.
Oh wow! All right, so yeah, I'm flirting with like 220 and some change, but at my peak I was like 320 ish. So like yeah, I was really big back in high school.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
Okay, you're about my
Okay.
height.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
6'2", so yeah,
Right
we're about
on.
the same height then.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, that's something I definitely got to work on too. If you haven't already noticed, I'm a
Oh,
pretty
it's
big
all right.
ass dude. No, but funny thing is, it never gets any higher, so that's a plus. But
That's good.
yeah. So should we move on to the next question, or because we got quite a lot to go on? So just let me know if you want to stop or whatever. So the next question is from Rita Smith. What's your least favorite? Well, I think I already asked this question. What's your least favorite Rewind Rumble, and what do you think of T Moss? I can't. What he's saying there? T Moss. I don't know what that is. So let's just get to the first question. What's your least favorite Rewind Rumble episode?
That's a good one. My least favorite, maybe. I don't know if I have like a least like one that I like. If I maybe Ruby versus Deku. I feel like a lot of things in that episode I could have done better as far as like preparing that, and I even remember too, like I didn't have enough time to like host it, so we had to get Richard Core Kenobi to fill in for me, and even the animation itself, I felt like our team could have done better too. So if I had to pick one, but another one, which the animation I feel like was really cool, but Slenderman versus Hero Brian, I feel like maybe that could have been a Cartoon Fight Club episode, just because the idea is a little left field. But I don't know if I like hate a specific episode.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So another question is it's not a versus match, but who do you think is more overpowered, SpongeBob or Goku?
More overpowered. Well, SpongeBob is a little more broken because like with Toon Force and everything, it's kind of hard. Like inconsistently, SpongeBob has a lot more crazier stuff for what you would expect. But I don't know. But Goku's more like consistently powerful. So it's tough to say off the top of my head. But maybe we could do that as a CFC one day. Who knows?
I thought you did that already, Goku versus SpongeBob, and he couldn't hurt him because he was a sponge or something.
Well, we did a Salt Assault.
I swear you did that, didn't you?
Well, we did a Salt Assault of Saitama versus SpongeBob.
Oh,
but,
Saitama. Okay.
Yeah.
Something. He just couldn't hurt him. He was like,
Yeah.
like, just sitting there getting tickled. Something ridiculous. It was a long time ago, but
it was Saitama versus SpongeBob, and yeah, it's pretty much that was funny though.
I enjoyed that one a lot. That was extreme. That was hilarious. Next question. Who is the most powerful character that's made his appearance on Cartoon Fight Club or Rewind Rumble?
The most powerful? Well, for Rewind Rumble, that'd be the one above all. And then for CFC, I don't know if I want to spoil it because that's what the Ultimate Showdown is for, like to break down. Yeah. But for Rewind Rumble, it's no question the one above all is the most powerful Rewind. Yeah.
I said that too.
Yeah.
I made a video. I was like, Goku versus Superman. I can tell you who wins. Stan Lee. That's it. I don't want to hear anybody else. This conversation's over.
That's the answer to all versus matches. That's the answer to all of them.
Yeah.
Press F, everybody, to pay your respects to Stan Lee.
Next question. Are you planning to make more games like Meme Quest?
Oh yeah, I'm working on the Cartoon Fight Club mobile game.
But that's dope.
Yeah, nice. So like the first game I released was Space Memes. Well, the first iOS at least, because Walrus Jump, getting an app on the iOS market is really tough. Yeah. To make a long story short, yeah, we are working on the CFC mobile game, but that's gonna. I don't want to say when it's gonna be done because that is like another level of crazy. So. Long story short, yeah, hopefully soon we'll publish a new app.
Yeah, my favorite one that you made was when you had the red and blue guy and you had to switch and kill the right color.
Yeah, that was Space Memes. Yeah, you switch between Spoderduck and Senigi, and you kill the Illuminati drones, and then an Illuminati eye will come after the end of each wave. Yeah, it's crazy.
The only thing I was gonna mention to that is you needed a colorblind mode.
Oh, I could look into that, but I mean, I'm not really that skilled of a programmer. But if I get good enough at it, maybe one day I could like fix up, because I know Meme Quest is really broken. Like Walrus Jump is so bad I couldn't. The iOS market wouldn't let me even publish it, but the Android market took it in. But yeah, hopefully the CFC game. It might even take a few years, to be honest, because like that's gonna take a crazy amount of work. But maybe one day it'll get like fully complete and released, and that's something I want to. Oh, go ahead.
You said you had a new game coming out, right?
Yeah, the Cartoon Fight Club mobile game is what we're currently working on.
So is it like a card game of memes, or actually,
no? It's gonna be. I actually have a video about it. I have like a beta. It's gonna be like a side scroller. I wouldn't want to say like a beat 'em up, because like you're not running and fighting new guys. But it's gonna be like a flat a battle. It's like a cross between like the Tekken story mode, but like a very tiny stage, and like say Super Smash Flash 2, where like it's not like a standard like fight game, but it's gonna be an app. It's not like a card game or anything. No.
Okay. Actually, there's another thing too I was gonna mention, but like to me, I almost feel like would be a cool game, and this is going way left field, is like you'd almost have a board game like Monopoly, but then you had the memes as your cards that you would draw, so you could build a deck of memes. And if you landed on a property like Green Hills, I mean, of course, copyright reasons, you gotta be careful with the property.
Yeah.
But so you can call it like Green Thrill Zone.
Yeah.
And all that, and then you could summon Uganda Knuckles to guard that territory. And if someone lands on it, if they can't kill it, they have to pay you meme coins or whatever currency you come up with.
That's
and then
actually...
you bankrupt them. And then of course, like Uganda Knuckles will have like insane attack below defense or whatever.
Right.
You don't know the way.
Yeah.
It'd be like a magic card. You don't know the way. He's like an 8-drop or whatever. He costs 50 meme points. You know what I mean? Just straight up property. And like that would be cool as hell, man.
I'll think about something like that. That's really cool.
And, well, if you do, you better put me on that.
Yeah. You need royalties. You need royalties. I mean,
that's something I've been thinking about for a long time.
Yeah.
Find someone actually wants to be serious about it. So.
Oh wow! I mean, I'll think about it. I don't know what it takes to make a board game. I mean, like as far as like
Sick, though.
I can only imagine it's harder than it looks. It's not like drop something on a So it's something if you're serious about, you should hold that idea, because like anyone hearing it, like I'm not saying someone's maliciously going to do anything with it, but like you never know. So protect your intellectual property. Yeah.
Well, this video is a timestamp in theory, if ever needed to be. But yeah, I understand. But you're right. Shouldn't be. Less is more.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, right on. Okay, so hold on, give me a second.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we got a question for my boy Shorty P. He asked if the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man could go back in time, would he use that opportunity to go back and save Uncle Ben, or to delete the dance scene from Spider-Man 3?
Oh boy.
I mean, as a character, he would want to save Uncle Ben, because like he almost killed Sandman over the fact that he hated Sandman so much for being So I mean, he would save his uncle. I know the meme like you would never do that dance scene again, but no, he would save Uncle Ben.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so another question. Do you like Lion King 2 and Spider-Man 3?
Oh yeah, I do like the Lion King 2. Though the Lion King 1.5 I find way better, because the Lion King 2 was more of like a copy paste Romeo and Juliet type story, but it was cool. But Lion King 1.5 is the better of the sequels. And Spider-Man 3 of the trilogy, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I saw it when I was way young, so I was like nostalgia blind by it. So it has a special place in my heart as well.
Okay. We're going to keep answering the rest of our questions, but I'm going to send the message right now to ask no more questions, because I'm sure we're going into overtime. We're over 2 hours right now already.
Oh, wow.
I know. Time
right.
We're actually about to hit like the 2 hour mark soon. So we'll just limit this to 3 more questions. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. So let me look for one. Give me a second. I just lost track.
We'll skip the versus ones, because that was kind of
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Jedi Bender asks. He asked, what's your favorite part working with them, with us, AR?
Oh, always learning something new. Like Miss X is like the smartest Toho person I know, and so like if I need something on Toho, I mean I have to contact Miss X, And the Jedi Bender is very well knowledged on like Cartoon Network shows and cartoon series. And he's working on, I don't want to spoil what, but I'll spoil one of the teams. The Teen Titans, they're going to be facing another squad. I won't say who, but like he's put a lot of effort into that. So my favorite part is definitely.
Oh no, what happened?
I think his internet again kind of caught up with him. We'll give him a few moments here, everybody.
Yeah. Are you good?
I'm sure he'll be back.
Oh, did I fade out?
Yeah.
You were just about to tell us, and then we got.
It just went bam. Yeah.
So I don't know how far. You're gonna have to rewind about 15 seconds.
Am I back now?
Yeah, you're back now.
So you're gonna have to animation rewind.
Oh, my favorite. Yeah. My favorite thing is learning new things from the team because like people like Miss X is a Toho expert. The Jedi Bender is definitely a Cartoon Network expert. So always learning something new and doing things I wouldn't be able to do if I was running the show solo.
All right, right on.
Rita had a question. What reaction channel do you like that is not Steven Z Killer and the guy in the stream?
Oh,
wow! Way to put you on the spot.
That's a
there.
tough one.
Whoa!
I mean, Duo Dreamer is a really good reaction channel. He does cool reactions.
Duo, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the second question. So we'll ask one more, and this one was, why wasn't Dora in the reality Warper Free for All?
Well, I mean, we actually, a lot of meme characters were supposed to be in it, like the Illuminati and Senigi, and we actually shuffled out all the joke characters and only put in like really serious characters, and that's one of the reasons. So, yeah, we didn't want it to like be, because it was originally supposed to be a CFC, but when it turned into a Rewind Rumble, we tore some of it down and reconstructed it.
Makes sense.
Right on, right on. And so, do you want me one more question, or what do you want to do?
I guess we could do one more.
Okay, so, all right, just give me a minute. Let me find. I'm sorry, because there's quite a lot. Okay, so what's your favorite food? And then we'll wrap that up.
That's a tough one. My favorite fruit is oranges, but my favorite food is probably some type of chicken.
Right on.
All right, got you.
All right, so that's been a lot of questions. So there is one more. Are you ever going to come on this podcast again if you would like?
Oh yeah, definitely. If I ever have free time, I'd love to do another round with you guys. It was really fun being here, and I'm really thankful, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Definitely awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we're extremely honored and thankful for you to be on the show, man. Really, it's been an absolute blast.
There's a few other cats that were jealous because they couldn't be here today.
Oh, it's okay. No, we should do another one soon, maybe. Yeah. I'm down for that.
Definitely. So, guys, if you have any other questions, don't worry. So, if we ever get them on again, so please hold on to those questions, and we will get to them.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it's time to wrap it up, everybody. Thank you all for joining. Like I said, once again, please consider subscribing to us, leaving a like for this one. And, of course, make sure for sure, if you haven't, which would be ridiculous, sub to AR's main channel, Animation Rewind or Rewind Rumble. I'll put the links again really quick. Ivan, wrap this up.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed this podcast, please make sure to follow all of us on our social media, our Twitters, our subscribe to our channels, and please subscribe to Animation Rewind. This guy made some incredible stuff. We got some amazing stuff on the work, so please be on the lookout for what he has planned in store. And thank you so much for the people who support us on Patreon, our H crew, and that other person. And we also have a playlist on the left here, other playlist on the right here to get your feet wet. And for your cup of tea, you better go find us out there. So believe it. We're the Reaction Squad Podcast. This is Animation Rewind, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
This shit I'm out.
See you guys later.